hit play, that's that talking Bama. From the huddle to the hardwood, whole state on camera. From the Walk of Champions to them rims in the Coliseum, we break down schemes, break news before you see it. Talking Bama, talk that tide, hit that intro, let it ride. From the fall to the March Mad Nights, we talking Bama, keep you locked in tight. Talking Bama, roll that tape from the field to the paint. We stay up late if it's Bama. We on you down. Talking Bama, got the whole state wild.
Got the whole state wild. Talking Bama is live tonight, guys. We are live tonight. JT, your host, and we have that man Herb right here in the pilot seat with me. How you doing tonight, Herb?
Once again, whenever you get royalty on the show, I'm like, should I have worn a suit? Was it a tie? Like, was it optional? Like, I feel underdressed for when someone like Wyatt comes on here, but I'm having a good time, man. Roll Tide.
As always, guys, roll tide. And we do have a special guest tonight. That man, the myth, the legend, this guy right here, if you have to put him on him right here, this man right here is the man with the plan, the lemon peppers, the big steppers, the jet flying, all the extra things in between. That man Wyatt here with us tonight, guys. How you doing tonight, Wyatt?
Y'all are too nice, man. Herb, I'm in a ball cap and an SEC hoodie. Like, that's
But you look better than both of us, though. So we're like,
I don't know. Now, hang on now. I don't know about all that nonsense.
I'm in a straight Bama jersey. Bama,
you love to see it.
Yeah.
Who is
Bama,
it? Who is it?
This is Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller, baby. Oh,
there you go.
Brandon Miller, baby.
Okay.
I got a we'll break out real quick because I keep my jersey thing right here. This right here is my baby signed Phylon jersey right here.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Got a signed Phylon jersey. It's one of my prized possessions.
That man well.
Yes, prized possessions right now for that. What's going on, guys? What's up?
I'm derailing everything. But speaking of prized possessions, when I moved to Tuscaloosa, within the first month of me moving up here, I had a bunch of extra furniture that I was, having to get rid of. And so we put it out on Facebook Marketplace, and lo and behold, Clinton Dix reaches out and kid you not, I don't know if you could see, came and loaded it up himself. My wife and I took pictures with him literally in our garage right here. But that was within the first month of me moving to Tuscaloosa.
And Wyatt rocking the Green Bay hoodie right there. Even better too, because that's like Bama fan. And then him going to Green Bay too. That's awesome.
He was my dog. He was one of the reasons I became a Packers fan. So the fact that happened within the first month of me moving up here was just like, whoa, wait a minute. It's different in Tuscaloosa.
I think it's different, like that story Nick Saban says. I'll go off subject real quick about how one of his first years there, about he was talking with some people and they were like, well, we'll never win a national championship as long as that Nick Saban guy's the coach. As he's talking to Nick Saban. Yeah. Like, and I'm just like, you just don't know who you run up to in there sometimes, guys. We're going to kick it off tonight. 1st and 10, guys. He said NFL is boring. Yes and no. It's one of those things that I look at it. It's an acquired taste for some people, So that is that. We'll get into the 1st and 10. I like it. I like the NFL. I'm just double on that. Now, if you ask me college football or NFL, I'm probably going to watch college football. Now, if you tell me Temple versus Marshall or the Giants versus the Eagles, I want the Giants and Eagles.
Temple versus Marshall.
That's where I'm different. That's where I'm different. Give me Giants and Eagles.
I set aside Saturday as a one day, like, hey, I'm going downstairs. I'll be watching football all day. When she asked me at 10 o'clock at night, hey, who are you watching? I'm like, it's San Diego State versus, Fresno State. They're like, who are those two teams? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'm watching that. Sunday, we do our quality time. I have a little 32-inch TV that I watch the NFL on mute while we're watching our shows together. So but Saturday is sacred.
That's fair, honestly. No, we whenever I'm, kid you not, when we do our post-game show for the radio station, we're, night games, we're on the air till 1 o'clock, 2 a.m. here. And so, kid you not, I've downloaded the Mountain West app, and I was watching Sam Houston State and Washington State at 2 o'clock in the morning one time. I think that this was immediately following the Georgia game last year. So I'm sitting in a hotel in Athens, doing a radio show with Sam Houston State and Washington State pulled up on the Mountain West app on my phone. NFL,
There you go.
I'm traveling back from wherever I'm covering a game, or I'm, sitting at home trying to recover from a home Saturday, and I just got the NFL on. But like JT said, if you give me Temple and Marshall, or, I won't say the Packers because they are my team, but if you give me Temple and Marshall, or like Buffalo and Kansas City, I'm watching Buffalo and Kansas City.
Yes, I agree with the Buffalo and Kansas City one right there as well. I would go with that. I didn't realize. Did y'all hear a ding? I got a message on my iPad, and I don't want it to ding through the live show. Did y'all hear a ding right then at all? No, that was just
yes.
You did?
No, we heard it.
No, you didn't?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just need to turn off my thing. I didn't know if it fed through the thing right there like that. But
she kind of just fit the show, so I don't think it was distracting. It felt like it just kind of went with the show. To be honest, if you hadn't said anything, I don't think we were gonna say anything.
I only said anything because I don't want it to happen again. I just didn't want it to happen again. Oh, that's all that was.
We're all good. We are all good.
Lady Alpha right here. Thank you so much. Super chat right here. Welcome in, Wyatt. Yes. Wyatt is a wonderful, wonderful guy that covers the Tide, has a great perspective on it, guys. And if you guys don't know, you need to be following him on all social media. On top of that, guys, if you're in the Tuscaloosa area or surrounding areas, you need to make sure that you are tuned in to 100.9 on your radio dial. And you need to make sure that you guys are tuned in on their shows with Christian Miller as well. Great, great, great work. Wyatt, wasn't Christian Miller's show voted like the best what was it? What's it called? I don't want to say it wrong.
Best sports talk show in a media market in the state of Alabama. So Tuscaloosa is a media market in the state. Birmingham, Huntsville, Montgomery, and Mobile are the large markets. Okay. But yes, Christian Miller was voted best sports talk show in a medium-sized market last year. It's the third year we've won that award. Ryan Fowler won it. I've won the award, and now Christian Miller's won the award. So we're hoping for a four-peat next year.
Okay, four-peat. I would love to see that. So you guys put out great work all across y'all stuff. I love watching you guys. 1st and 10 tonight, guys. We kind of went a little extreme right with some other stuff, but we're gonna get right into it. Wyatt, on the 1st and 10, I don't know if we did this when you were on with us last or not, but it's something I wouldn't even say new now because we've done it pretty regularly, but this is a moment where we talk about whatever that's going on with the Tide right now, or it could be any other sport. It could be anything like that, softball, baseball, whatever. Right now, recruiting's hot. I know that's going to be probably one. But what do you got for us on 1st and 10 tonight and in the world of sports?
So, like you mentioned with recruiting, we'll stick with recruiting here. Alabama got a big commitment in Nigel Newkirk, Gainesville High School running back, 4-star according to most networks. I think Composite, he's a 4-star, but I think like 247's got him as a 3, mainly due to an injury that he had. He suffered an injury his sophomore year, but Alabama was a little concerned, but they met with him over the spring. He took a couple of unofficial visits this spring, and they love with what he brings to the table. So big time commitment for Alabama. Former teammate of Xavier Griffin and Jamarian Matthews. All three of them were at Gainesville High School last year. Jamarian Matthews, Xavier Griffin signed with Alabama in the 26 class, and now the running back Nigel Newkirk should be signing with Alabama in 2027. Seems like he loves everything about Tuscaloosa, about the university, running backs coach Robert Gillespie. So big time commitment. And I have a feeling that will not be the only one that you see out of this recruiting weekend. There's been a couple of guys that seems like they could be getting ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah. That's what I was about to ask. Do we have a guy that's probably about to pull the trigger? Because I felt like it was. There's been a lot of guys I saw post and a lot of family members there as well. I love pulling out all the deck for sales because the thing about him, go back to 24 when Williams decommitted and we pulled him back in. What did DeBoer and his staff do? They went and got and made it home. They went and got everybody in his family you could imagine to be there for that visit, to include them. Nothing feels better than being able to bring your family with you and you enjoy that moment together. You know what I mean? So I love how Bama made them feel like, hey, this is home, and stuff like that. If you had to put a name on one, Wyatt, who's a guy that you like that may not commit, but who's a guy you like?
I'll give you two. I'll give you Mitchell Turner, 4-star defensive lineman, one of the best in the class, and Antoine Jackson, a 3-star edge rusher. And We've seen under Kalen DeBoer and this coaching staff, hey, they may not necessarily, the 3-star isn't the sexy one, right? It's not what fans are going to absolutely, lose their minds over. But we've seen 3-stars make numerous meaningful contributions.
For sure.
Just 2 last year were Latsier Brooks and London Simmons. So when it comes to when it comes to evaluations, I trust the staff 110%. They have nailed so many of these evaluations here. So those are 2 guys that I think could be getting ready. They seem to really like Alabama. Alabama seems like they really like those guys as well. And so if they've got the green light, it's up to them at that point. Hayden Stepp is another 4-star cornerback. He's been kind of quiet, but seems like things are kind of trending in the right direction there for Alabama. And then Osani Gales, a 4-star wide receiver that was also on a visit this weekend. Seems like things are starting to trend in the right direction there when you look at a couple of these kids. So, like I said, probably not the only one that you'll see from this recruiting weekend. It may be the only one you get today, but I have a feeling you'll see some more commitments coming down the pipeline soon.
I love that. I think Will Maddox just took it to another level. And every person that's probably 30, 33, 32 years older right now understands this.
You win, Maddox. You win. I don't even know
if you don't know, guys, and you're young and you don't know about MySpace.
Don't explain. Don't explain it. You just got to know.
Don't explain it to him.
Know.
Yeah, don't explain it to him.
All right, you're right. You got to know. It's a moment in time to be there.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, I remember. Nothing was more hurt than seeing you had somebody on your top 5, and you go to their page,
and you weren't there.
Top 5, bro.
Hey, nights were ruined. Like plans
this
were
age and era, Herb and Wyatt could not deal with publicly displaying your friends and how you like them.
Oh my God! Right now.
Oh
no. Oh no, forget it.
So I am on the younger side, but I did, kind of get an understanding of the MySpace. But for the younger kids, Snapchat used to do that too. You used to be able to see like the top 6 of everybody
your
else.
Best friends.
So, yeah. It was like,
I think that ended some marriages and some relationships much. So I think
110%. So they got rid of that one.
That's wild.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
That's good. That is gold right here. Let's get into it though, or back into it. Sorry, that's cousin Maddox, man. He's back. I bet that's probably his 4th Bud Light right there, and he's on that one. He's typing.
That woman was not my wife. Let me just go ahead. And
absolutely. Herb would not be sitting here if that were the case.
No. Oh no.
Ooh, that is
the closest I ever got to something like that is my wife was upset about something. I said, "Nah, we're not arguing about this," and I walked away. And she went, "I guess we're not arguing about that." That was the closest and safest I ever got. But when I walked away, I was like, "For the Lord, don't let something hit the back of my head."
I was going to say, here comes a flip flop.
Yes. There was a lot.
It's like the cartoon, like the bleep when your hands.
Yep. Well, Herb, glad you're still with us after doing that.
Yes.
Herb blocked me from MySpace because I wouldn't drink with.
That's only because at that time Hunter was like 10 when MySpace was a thing.
Fair point.
Hunter legit in like a legit world here. Hunter was probably like around 5. I'm not joking. Like not even trying to joke. He was probably 5. I'm doing the math in my head. I can be wrong. But I'm more of a math guy than English guy. So he's probably around the age 5 if doing by what the age he told me the other day, and I'm doing my age and I'm subtracting and doing some math. He's probably around 5. Yeah. And I'm not joking, but yeah, probably 7. Yeah. Probably right. Yeah. So first and 10 tonight, guys. Herb, I spoke with you on the phone about this, and I'm gonna lead into yours with mine right here and kind of pass it off to you. The running back commit we just got reminds me of the Lottie Brooks wide receiver versus when we got Caleb Odom. Caleb Odom was the guy. Everybody wanted Caleb Odom. That was the dude. That was the huge go around. Get him. People were wanting him. And then what's the name? I'm having a brain fart right now from Ole Miss.
Caleb Cunningham.
Cunningham as well. I'll use him as an example as well. That's another guy that was really big. Caleb Cunningham, people wanting him. He didn't come to Bama. He went to Ole Miss. Okay. You see how I didn't really know his name. I kind of had to fish for it right there. Lottie Brooks is way above that, and he's a 3-star. He was that 3-star guy that was like, oh, Bama got a 3-star. Yeah, Bama, So when you said about him being the 3-star, well, 4-star mostly, but some people have him as a 3. I kick that out the window to a degree. Like, obviously you got to be able to rate these guys versus some other guys, but like you got to kick it out to a degree because Lottie Brooks is potentially the number 1 wide receiver on this team this year. You can make an argument that he is. Okay, look at the Oklahoma game.
We will be later.
And we will get to that.
We will later this summer.
Lottie Brooks has 2 touchdowns versus Oklahoma that he went out and made happen. Ty made a good throw on the second one. The first one was just a normal little pop pass to him, and he made the wiggle worm and got in. So I love Lottie Brooks. I think these guys like this that come in with a chip on the shoulder, and this staff is used to getting guys that aren't, all the way well-rounded. And DeBoer is great at coaching up talent. Not just getting talent and it being he's the type to get like a 2003 Ferrari and soup it up and then go race your 2026 Ferrari. Like instead of him just going to get a 27 Ferrari, he'd rather go get that's what it reminds me of with him. Like he won't,
because he also fits his system too, though. Yes. So when you're racing that car, he's like, I know which races we're also going to be in, what tracks we're going to be on. This is where I want that car to go. I think that's why when you look at 3-stars, he's like, yeah, but this 3-star fits what I want to do. And I mean, come on, man, stars are. It's
at the end of the day, stars mean absolutely nothing. Like obviously you got to be, you've got to have the talent to play at a very high level at the collegiate level. But at the same time, it's about the work that you put in when you get there. Not to rub haha Clinton Dix, back into the spotlight here, but he's put it out on Twitter. Once you get here, you are a 0-star recruit. Once you get here, you did in high school doesn't mean jack squat. Now it's what have you done at the University of Alabama?
And I can definitely, so just so you can buy stars now, like I can definitely see in a family being like, hey, on 3, we have 4 stars. Hey, here's $300,000. Give us an extra star, dude. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I mean,
because you're going to get that back in NIL for sure.
A lot of what it is too is you see these kids. Hey, they're going to the 247 camp. They're going to the rivals camp. Well, if they go there and they show out, you had one really good day, and suddenly you're skyrocketing up these boards here for 247 or rivals. Or if you don't camp, like I don't think Lottie Brooks camped very often, so you may be playing really really good. But because you're not there, they're not able to, verify your measurements in person and see you against quote unquote the best of the best. They're probably going to ding you a little bit. So it's the diamonds in the rough, though. And so I think that's what Alabama's done a really good job of finding.
Yes, I love the way you just said that right there and use that as in.
And I think they look harder, honestly, because we're not going to outbid everybody for people. So it's like, look, we're not going to look at every 5-star. We're going to look at these 4 and 3s that will get a Bama bump that'll get you another star anyway, but also can work hard. So, that they fit our system.
I'm not the biggest fan of DeBoer's coaching staff after hearing him on the Downsy podcast with Kalen Downs. I've heard some of that too. I think also in this day and age, some of the stuff, it goes back to the culture that we're in today with how the game is versus how NIL is versus how transfer portal. There's a lot of different moving factors. So it's easy to be here and sit here for us to say, oh, you should do this, but you also don't know about X, Y, and Z over here, why you can't do that. People fire DeBoer.
What was the comment? Where they say he didn't coach hard enough? Is that what I'm assuming?
No, it was different. All right, so on the podcast, to sum that up real quick, like 30 seconds. So I talked about different things of how DeBoer coaches and like versus Nick Saban. So like Saban will walk in a meeting or something, and everybody's just like, nobody wants to speak. Nobody wants to, other than like to answer his question. DeBoer walks in, he's like, people are kind of playing around. It's like the focus is a little different. Or he'll look around and be like, hey, what do you guys think about this? And they're like, whoa, is this a trick question? And start looking around like he's asking us our opinion. Where Nick Saban came in and was like, hey, we're running this. You're going to blitz on the left. You're going to watch him all game. You're going to da-da-da-da-da. And everybody's like, yes, sir. Yes, yes, captain. DeBoer walks in and said, well, we're thinking this. What do y'all think? And they're just like,
yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people have, from what I've seen.
I think it's more of a player's coach era.
Yes,
though,
yes.
There's a reason why a lot of the older coaches are leaving the sport is because you can't. The second you get get after a guy, he's like, well, I got my NIL money for this year, and I guess I can transfer out. So you're not going to yell at me too many more times, and that's you just can't do it. So. And
DeBoer said that before too. Like it's very player led, not in the idea of like, hey, I'm completely hands off. My leadership team, Ty Simpson, you got this. No, it's hey, we're gonna have a conversation because the more minds you have on something, more than likely, the more likely you are to figure it out at this point. So we know, like Ty Simpson, coach's son, smart as a whip, can diagnose the defense with the best of them. So DeBoer is watching Oklahoma tape, getting ready for that playoff game, and he goes, all right, this is what I'm seeing. Coach Grubb, what do you see? Coach Sheridan, what do you see? Hey, Ty, you're the one that's going to be standing there in the fire. You're the one that's going to be taking these hits and diagnosing this defense live. What are you seeing from Oklahoma here? And so I think it's just more so that aspect of, hey, there's a lot of really smart people in these rooms. Not saying that Nick Saban had a bunch of idiots out there, but there's a lot of smart people in these rooms. So do they see something that maybe I haven't seen? Are they, picking up on something that I didn't catch this first go around? And I think you do see it have a lot of success for Alabama.
Yeah, so he said was prepared for FSU either, and then also the fact that Ty outcoached in Indiana.
The Indiana one was the first one. The FSU one, I think you're just going to start going away from having major matchups on the road to start the year. At least give yourself a 1 year bump, a 1 game bump, especially if you're breaking in a new starter. That was just a terrible. Now, the coaching was bad. We had a great first drive, and then we decided not to do anything that we did on the first drive. So let's, I won't make excuses for the coaching. But I do
that's
think
the part that got me.
Why you're trying to start off with cupcakes and then maybe get a tougher game for game 2.
That's why Texas is playing Texas State in week 1 and then Ohio State in week 2. That's why Oklahoma's playing UTEP in week 1 and then going to the big house.
But hey, shout out to Texas Tech's head coach.
Okay.
I loved that comment when he said, hey, how about we go buy out our contract? I'm pretty sure you got enough money to buy out your contract. I like to put the money where your mouth is type of motive right there. But he did touch the fact that like Texas destroyed them in the last game though.
It's the Lord's Day, so I'm not going to use the language that I would if I was a couple of drinks in and on a Saturday night.
There you go. With your favorite people, Herb and Raj.
Absolutely, Herb and Raj every Saturday. What's the nice way I can put this? It was Texas Tech trying to big dog Texas. It was, hey, we absolutely know that we cannot change this game this close out. I mean, we scheduled these things years in advance. But number one, we've misconstrued what Sark said. We took it as an offense when Sark said they could go beat our schedule with the 2s and 3s, and somehow we took it as they can beat us with their 2s and 3s. So I'm going to make a big comment. I'm going to make a splash, and I'm going to say, look, we're going to buy out our game. You're going to buy out your game, and we're going to go play. But we're not going to go to Austin. You got to come here, or we're going to go play this in Dallas. So it was Texas Tech trying to big dog Texas, knowing that this had 0% chance of happening. They've misconstrued what Sark said, and they're like nothing can happen about it. So Texas is going to look scared. They're going to look like a bunch of babies that are wussing out here, and Texas Tech's going to look like the big dog because Texas Tech's best game in the non-conference is Oregon State. Who just fired their head coach? Your best game in conference is what? No BYU. So what is it? Arizona State? Is it Colorado? Yep. Really? Like that's your strength of schedule. So at Texas Tech, I'll give him credit. I'll give Joey McGuire credit. Great big dog comment. You look.
Yeah, phenomenal. I like that. I like that.
You look phenomenal right now. But if Texas actually came to you and said, "All right, if you're serious, let's go," and you'd be like, well, wait a minute, the logistics, then we got to book hotels in Dallas.
Honestly, I think Texas Tech still takes it because of the other thing you mentioned. It's not going to hurt them in the long run because they're going to still run through the Big 12, and they've got that guaranteed.
They could lose by 40 to Texas, win the Big 12, and still be in the playoffs. If Texas loses that, Then they got Ohio State. Then you got a 9-game SEC schedule coming down the pipeline.
I think it's way worse for Texas. But Texas Tech, you can, and you might even
all these talking
points by 40. Yeah.
But all these talking points about, well, Texas has got this coming up and that and the logistics of it all, it makes Texas look scared. And that's exactly what Joey McGuire knew he was doing. So good on him.
Sure.
Good
I
on
agree.
him.
Now, I didn't think of it in that point.
I wouldn't think of
that point. I just
on that
like
game happening, though. Shout out to Texas Tech and Source.
From the fan perspective, me watching it made me feel like it's like that sells tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like the drama, the suspense, that's what college football is to me. That like put up, shut up. Do you know if somehow that game came about and it happened in AT&T Stadium, that would probably be one of the most watched college football games of the season?
Oh, for sure.
Because of how it would be built. Now,
you know what you do if you really want this game to be scheduled. If you really want this game to be scheduled,
I would love it.
You play an AT&T Stadium in week 0. You just add a game. You play week 0 in Dallas. There you go.
Oh man, I would love it. I would love it. Now I don't.
Hell, I'd probably go at that point. Like I'd probably go to that game.
Is it Tay don't have a QB though? Yeah, I mean, hey,
they're not right now.
Suing and doing
that man's in trouble. He's done. Like
but we're gonna get on the show. We're gonna get on to our first topic. I'm behind, but with that though,
30 minutes in, going to first topic.
Yes, but with that though, old buddy was betting on games he had meaningless outcomes. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's just like it's almost like if he was a starting quarterback and was betting and was losing those games. It's kind of like, oh, okay, that looks fishy.
Buddy's got a problem. He was betting $3 on balls and strikes for the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes, he legit has a problem, and I've been almost to that level where I'm like, oh, I got to bet today. And here recently, I went almost 3 months without betting because I just put it down. I was like, I don't want to bet right now. I'm getting too involved in it. So I do know where he's coming from on that. Like the money looks good, and then you just waste it. You know, like
Hey, look, man, that $400 payout on my parlay last night looked really, really nice, and it didn't hit. So
So Wemby gets 40 points and was supposed to get 41, and everything else hit. But I'm just not saying that happened, but I'm just saying that stuff like that does happen. We're gonna get into it though. Ryan Williams.
I want to say this real quick because I didn't give a 1st and 10. Shout out to the Alabama women's. No, because we're gonna make it quick because we're behind. Yeah. Shout out to Alabama women's softball team.
Oh
yes,
1 win away from making the finals. Shout out to them. The team that they'll be playing is playing right now. So winner of this game, they get tomorrow night. Shout out to them. Congrats to them. Let's go.
What about the boys' baseball? What do they have to do?
Baseball, so they are in. Actually, they should be playing
today, right?
They should be playing right now.
I'm about to say that's what I thought they were playing or something.
They're in the finals of the Tuscaloosa Regional, taking on Oklahoma State. I've actually got some people out there covering that game right now here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh no! Excuse me. First pitch is in about 30 minutes or so. But if they beat Oklahoma State tonight, they will host Super Regionals in Tuscaloosa next weekend. Ooh. If they lose to Oklahoma State tonight, you got one more game. The final game would be tomorrow night. And then basically Bama, in order to make Super Regionals for baseball, Bama's got to win 1 game. Oklahoma State's got to win 2. If Bama wins tonight, they're going to Supers. If Oklahoma State wins tonight and tomorrow night, they're heading to Supers.
Okay. That's cool. That makes sense then. I like baseball, 20 points the other day, 21 points, something like that, man. Me and my wife watched that game. And I was just like, the game me and you would sit down. Like, I don't watch a lot of baseball or softball, to be honest. But the game we turn on to watch is the slugfest of the season. I'm super happy about that, though. I was like, it's normally not like this.
I was at a comedy show because I had somebody else covering the game, and so he texted me, was like, "Hey, I'm writing the game story right now." I get out of the show, look at the score, and just immediately text him, "What the hell happened? Like, what went down?"
Touchdowns?
Yeah, like, brother, this is a football score. Like, this was a blowout, and this was a blowout.
You want to bottle some of that up for like the next game. That's what you really want to do. Hey, we cap it. Everything over basketball. 15, we want to carry on.
That reminded me of the basketball game, bro. Right before we played Michigan, we balled out in that game and shot crazy, and I feel we needed to save some of those shots.
2 years ago, you did it to BYU, and then played Duke.
Yeah, you know, but
They
hey,
had
we'll get
nothing
right into
left.
it. Ryan Williams, bounce back season. What I mean by that, guys, he recently spoke with Chris Lowe of ESPN and had an interview about different things. They asked him a whole bunch of different things, as you would assume. One of the questions is the elephant in the room about, you know, what's going on, how was last year, things like that. And Williams responded as in like he feels whole, feels like he's back himself. He can get 100% of him this year. He is he's ready to roll. So with that, what he gave us, a lot of people are like, hey, we need to talk his talk. We need to see it now. You know, so with that being said, though, what would a successful season look like in the eyes of Alabama fans, do you feel like?
Well, in the eyes of Alabama fans, it's got to be 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now, in the eyes of Ryan Williams, it's more than it's in the eyes of Ryan Williams, it probably would look something similar, but it would be more, hey, you know, making sure I'm in the right spot, making sure I'm making the plays, blocking assignments, because that was a big deal under Jamarcus Shepard, is a lot of these guys weren't blocking. And so, you know, and focusing on the drops, not dropping the ball quite as much as he did last season, because I know that kind of derailed him a little bit last year. But no, I mean, he's going to bounce back. Like if Ryan Williams has Coleman Williams, if Ryan Coleman Williams has another year last year like he did this past season, I think he stays. Honestly, I think he should stay for a senior season at that point if he has another season like his sophomore year. But I expect him to take that next step. I expect him to be, you know, that wide receiver one for Alabama this season, just because he is healthier. He's put on some muscle. He looks bigger. And so the fact that he's now got the muscle to kind of withstand some of the hits he's taking and the wear and tear that he's putting on his body as well, you know, because the muscles hold everything in place, right? Or the ligaments and muscles work together holding everything in place. So if you don't have the muscle definition that you need, hey, you may step weird and suddenly now your knee hurts. But if you had a little bit better leg muscle, maybe your knee doesn't hurt after making that step. So looking at it here, he's got bigger muscles. He looks like he's bigger, stronger, faster. As long as he can, you know, catch a football, as long as he gets out of his own head and can actually catch a ball this upcoming season, I see no reason why he's not your leading wide receiver.
I agree wholeheartedly with that right there. Especially the part about the Alabama fans with the 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Because I look at last year and people were like, oh, well, he was trash last year. No, he wasn't. I mean, he had 600 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, right? Or what was the touchdown?
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. 4
He had
touchdowns.
2 against Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. So 4 touchdowns, 600 plus yards, a lot of drops, I'll say. That's where I'll say, like, I will be like, yeah, okay.
For sure.
Agreed.
For sure.
But if you're telling me like you just no, because I mean, he was doing things in and out games, you know, in clutch moments and stuff. Quarterback being banged up down the road too doesn't help. Also, I've said this over and over and over and over again too. Ryan Williams needs a quarterback that fits him, his wide receiver style too. Sorry, Milroe. I love Milroe. I'm a huge Milroe fan. I have his jersey sitting over here. Huge Milroe fan. He's not the quarterback for Williams. Okay. Ty Simpson. I love Ty Simpson as well. I wasn't a Ty Simpson fan at first, become one over time. He's not Ryan Williams type of quarterback. Kalen Russell, Austin Mack, I believe will be, because they're going to be able to type to sit in that pocket and be able to laser him in the middle, on the side, wherever at, and he don't have to worry about putting his body in a weird spot. Gaining the weight helps too, Wyatt, I think.
I think Keelan Russell fits him better than what Austin Mack would, just because Keelan I'm not basing everything off of that 8A performance, but that's what a lot of fans' perception is. Hey, like, we've got that 8A performance. We know what Keelan Russell is now. I think that ability to make plays, delayed, right? So most plays are taking, 2-3 seconds. That ball's out of his hands. Keelan Russell can turn 2 seconds into 6 seconds. And suddenly, you've got, I throw this comparison out not to hype everybody up, but it's similar to what Bryce Young was able to do, right? Bryce Young had that sixth sense, could escape the pocket, and suddenly, you're running a post route. Well, that post turns into, a 40-yard curl route because now I got to work back towards the ball. Now I got to work back towards my quarterback, and a defensive back having to guard for 4, 5, 6 seconds. Just they're not going to be able to do it. I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to guard for 6 seconds every single play if that quarterback's able to make plays like that. So we've seen it from Keelan Russell. We've seen him be able to make those plays. So I think that would fit Ryan Williams a little bit better.
Yeah. I think the play calling will help him, his positioning. It was, we had like a Jeremy Bernard, but there'd be times where like Bernard was on the outside and Ryan Williams was coming across the middle. And I'm like, these are not the way these two things should go.
No.
I think we're getting a lot more big-bodied receivers in there. Those guys will handle more of the slot, more of the across the middle. You can get Ryan Williams on the outside and in space. I don't think it matters who the quarterback is. I think that's just where he's going to feel more comfortable. Now, yeah, hey, putting on more weight and getting bigger, that's great for that. But I think having him on the outside is much better for this team.
Nah, I hope he's way swoller than me. I hope he's way swoller than me. I hope he's way bigger than me.
Coleman Williams drinking Mountain Dews on the sideline, you know what's up.
Hey,
what has happened.
I hope he's way swoller than me. God, I hope he is. But he's pushing about 200 from what I was reading. Which is a solid weight right there for him, and it don't take away speed too much from him, but it gives him a little bit more of and that does go a long way. He said he went from Slim Reaper to Devontae Smith 2.0. Yeah, in a way, but I think he got a little bit more weight. I think that'll be interesting to see how it'll go along the way.
If you look at some of the clips that came out from Pro Day, not the one that I had to end up deleting, but if you go look at some of those other clips that came out from Pro Day, you can see he's definitely got some more muscle tone, muscle definition, and he's put on better, and he's put on more muscle. So that's the thing, is he can't get out physical. And I think what Justin had said it here too. He can't get out physical. You can't get thrown off your routes like that here as well. And so we know he's got the speed. We know he's got the athleticism. We saw him make Georgia defenders look stupid in the SEC championship. We saw him kind of get back on track in the Rose Bowl against Indiana. One of the very few bright spots in that game was Coleman Williams late in that matchup. So we've seen it. We just got to see the whole package put together for a 12-game season, regular season. Hopefully you're playing, 14, 15 games after that.
Agreed.
Yes, and same thing with his freshman year was kind of up and down too, and some people are blaming it on quarterback play inconsistency. So how much was the inconsistency quarterback play versus maybe some inconsistency with him being 17 and giving the world at 17 basically?
And that's the thing.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Can I also say, because we just had a post. Sorry, real quick. About him getting in his head. We all have heard rumors of like off the field stuff going on or whatever, right? Let's just remember that all of us as adults, when we have stuff going on, it affects us. And now you're talking about a kid, and yes, I'm gonna call him a kid because I'm like 3 times his age. When he has stuff going on, it's gonna affect the board. It's easy to say, let's get out of his head, get on the field.
Yeah,
much tougher to do. So,
dog, I'm 25, and I'm 25. He's 18, and so like I'm not too far removed, I like to think, from that position here.
right.
No, it absolutely can, it'll ruin you for months if you get stuck in your own head, and it doesn't even have to be anything bad. It's just, hey, I'm really ticked off at myself because, I dropped this pass against the Oklahoma fourth down where they targeted him and he couldn't quite come up with the ball. I made a game-losing play in the fourth quarter against the top 10 team and maybe potentially cost my team a spot in the college football playoff. Yeah, man.
Right.
See y'all in August. I'm taking off at that point. Like, I'm just so in my own head at that point. So he's so young. He reclassified. So
there's a lot with that.
He'll get there.
I think what made me realize his youth, and it made me realize hey, this is a human being, was the Oklahoma game in 24 when the foot was out of bounds or the play or the flag play got called back. And he dropped to his knees. Yeah. And when he fell to his knees, he was just defeated. I gave everything I had, literally every ounce of me out there, did the craziest toe tap catch out of bounds, brought my toe back in and got it. And then you take it away. So I felt that, that soul when he hit the ground like that. I was like, dang, this is a kid. And it made me remember right then.
The only scoring drive that they had in that, in that first quarter there, remember, he had the play where he stepped out of bounds and spun and was able to get into the end zone, and they initially call it a touchdown. He had a very similar reaction. Just they called the touchdown off the board, and he's hands in his face or head in his hands, and so He's young. He'll work through it. I promise you he can. I've watched this kid. Thank you, Don.
Love you, Don.
I've covered this kid for 6 years now, because I covered him in high school. So I've covered this kid for 6 years now. He is the real deal. I promise you he will get back to that level that he can be. He scored 6 touchdowns on Hillcrest up here in a playoff game. We know he's phenomenal. Trust me. Just it may take a little bit of time for him to work through everything.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. He said Ryan Coleman Williams gonna ball this year. Yes, for sure. I agree.
My last thought on the Ryan Coleman Williams thing, you can do both of these things. You could say, yes, he dropped the ball last year a lot. That needs to improve. And at the same time say, yes, I think he's going to bounce back and support him because he is a player for the team that you support. Right. I think there's too many people who are like, oh, he dropped the ball last year. I'm out on him. Forget the whole thing. Like, are you still supporting the team or
That's
not?
what I said, Cat.
You need to have this man's back. Yeah.
Herb, that's a reasonable take. We're not allowed to have those.
Oh, shoot. What was
that's reasonable. We're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to have those thoughts.
We can't make sense.
I get
We
in my own head
can't make
sometimes,
logical
Wyatt.
sense.
2,000 yards or he's a bum. Hey, no middle ground.
No middle ground. I love that part. No middle ground.
I mean, if it's not 20 touchdowns, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear every catch needs to be a team needs to have 20 catches for 20 touchdowns.
Yes.
Within the first 3 games.
Well, no, because then we're going to complain he's not making enough catches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or we'll say, Lotzier Brooks is a bum. Lottie's
a bum at that point.
So
Ryan's got 7 touchdowns through 4 weeks, man. Leave him alone.
I had a comment about the quarterback thing on one of my pages. The fans were getting at it, and they were going back and forth on they were going back and forth on what quarterback was what, and he was like, well, Austin Mack's trash. And I'm like, wait, I wasn't even in this argument. I was like, these 2 dudes were arguing on my stuff, right? So I'm like, well, now I got to insert in because we're not just going to say somebody's just trash. So I was like, wait a minute. We're not going to say somebody's trash, like, because he's not trash. He's great. Also, week 1, you'll see both quarterbacks. I promise you're going to see both
110%. I'd be shocked.
Injuries. Yeah, more injuries.
Can I also say this to that point? Most of us are people like me who saw Austin Mack one time at A-Day, didn't look good, and we've based our whole opinion on. Yeah. I will tell you, yes, he did not look as good as Russell. I will also tell you the only time I had eyes on him was A-Day, and that's not a fair assessment of anything. So
no.
I'll also say he looked pretty damn good in the Rose Bowl when he came in for Ty.
I was going to say
led the only scoring drive that we had in Pasadena.
I was going to say that, Wyatt, that I honestly thought that if the team hadn't just went like 30 different ways in that moment, that we could have banded around him, and it would have been a lot better. Shout out to Raj right there, coming in excellent show.
Is Raj spending my money? That's what I want to know. Raj take money from the show and put it on here. Raj. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, Raj said it did look good against. Okay, yeah.
That's why I said just don't form your opinions based on small stuff, right? It's still competition for a reason.
And we got a little bit behind tonight talking, so we'll kind of put a button on that one right there and roll Tide ready for the season right there. Herb, you got anything else you want to add with that?
No, you guys, we're covered. We're good. Appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Alabama DB Room 2026 Outlook. I was going to do this with one of the reasons. We was going to have Jalen Collins on tonight. Collins has something going on, guys. We're going to have him back on a different episode. But I still want to talk about his DB room but in a different light, in a way too here. So there's a lot of ways to look at this DB room. There's like, what does a successful season mean for a DB room in Alabama? What does that mean? Like you just said, Wyatt, for Ryan Williams. Well, no, if he don't have 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, it's not successful for Bama fans. What's Bama fans' level for that DB room? You know what I mean? Is it 12 interceptions? Is it 14 interceptions? Is it the 2016 where they scored 15 non-offensive touchdowns? Now some of that was special teams, but still the special teams kind of gets tied in with the defense when it comes to that type of stuff. So But what I'm getting at is this DB room, a lot of stuff, a lot of moving pieces here. I'm going to ask you something, Wyatt, that I didn't even send you this question because I just thought of it. And I think it's a better question, and I want to see you on the fly here. Do you think that we're going to have a guy that's not in the starting rotation that we see now, or we project the Bray Hubbard, Sab, Dijon on one side, Brown on the other? Is there a guy outside of that, maybe one of these freshmen that we have, that you could possibly see this year in that secondary?
110% yes. And I'll give you
I like that.
I'll give you two names. Jaira Edwards. They really, really like him from what I can tell. He's kind of worked a little bit in, kind of that Bray Hubbard spot, kind of that Husky spot, kind of deep safety as well for Keon Sabb. So they're trying to find ways to get Jaira Edwards on the field based on what we saw in spring practice here. So really, really like him. And then Carmelo O'Neal, the Mercer transfer defensive back here, who ironically was the defensive back that Josh Cuevas caught a touchdown against in 2024. He was the safety on that play against Josh Cuevas. But Mercer transfer DB Carmelo O'Neal. During A-Day, we did not see Bray Hubbard or Xavier Brown play very much, actually at all. We didn't see either of them at all on A-Day because they were limited all spring with an injury here. Your first defensive back that ran out there with the first team defense that we didn't know was Carmelo O'Neal. He was with the first team defense. Jaira Edwards got a lot of reps with the first team defense late on that Saturday in April there. So I look at it as, hey, those are probably two of your guys that you really, really want to see the field early and often, right? Because not only are you trying to get them better right now, but you're trying to see what you've got for 27. Because you look at this DB room right now.
Exactly.
Xavier Brown, unless he just, spontaneously combusts on the field in week 1, he's going to be a first-round pick. Bray Hubbard, that's going to be a top 50 pick. Keon Sabb, probably a top 100 pick. Red Morgan's eligible to declare for the draft at Husky. So you could theoretically lose 4 out of your 5 starting defensive backs. You need to see who's ready to go. And so that's where I think guys like Ivan Taylor, Xavier Mincy, Jaira Edwards, Carmelo O'Neal, they can really work their way onto the field in spot moments like we have seen with some of these other guys before, but spot moments, and then they turn into household names in 2027. Now everyone's going to want, everybody's going to fall in love with Jordan Edmonds, as they should. He's a phenomenal ball player. I don't know what that rotation will look like because they rotated a lot between Damani and Dijon last year. I don't know. They make a lot more money to make these decisions than I ever would. I don't know that I'm pulling Damani, or not Damani. I don't know that I'm pulling Dijon Lee off the field. I don't know that I'm pulling Xavier Brown off the field. So where does a guy like a Jordan Edmonds or Zion Gibson or Chuck McDonald, where do some of these guys fit in this rotation?
Injury. Injury.
And I don't want that to happen. Second string back there could start for most, for a lot of teams would take our entire second string.
So I think this one's
second string on that Alabama defensive backfield could start at 95 other schools.
Oh gosh, yes, dude. Jair Edwards could go right now and start. True freshman. Could probably
there are SEC teams. There are SEC teams that if they could have had Jair Edwards, he'd be starting for them. He'd have walked in as a starting defensive back.
True. Lance Hunter right here. D room is fun. Probably opinion Sab's a weak spot for me. Sue me. I wouldn't sue you because I would. If you gave me those 4, and you told me that, now also you can get into depth with it too. Who's the better cover corner or DB versus the run stopper? Because Bray, I feel, is a lot better coming in and plugging the left or the right side in that kind of outside-ish linebacker, kind of how they'll pull them down and they'll put Sab up top and they'll pull Bray on, depending on how it goes. I've seen him on the left, seen him on the right. I love when they do that with Bray because Bray is versatile enough to go in and hit your running back and get him down. Yeah. Okay, he calls Georgia's a forced fumble on a hit, or he's good enough to get the guy out in the flat, and he's better than a linebacker on that coverage. Now, you're telling me, do I want Bray or Sab making the tackle? not saying Sab can't tackle because he had some sacks. I mean, he got what was the Vanderbilt quarterback? He got him down a couple times and got a pick. Yeah, so I mean, and he's very elusive. So, not saying he can't, but I like Bray. So I do get what you're saying there. And could you, in a world where you have Jair Edwards and Bray Hubbard back there, you could see it. I mean, there could be some mix rounds.
I definitely
just depends.
We've seen Kane Womack rotate so much on this defensive side of the ball here, not just at DB, but also in the front seven defensively, that you're going to have every possible lineup that you can think of. You're going to have Zabian and Dijon at corner. You're going to have Zabian and Jordan Edmonds at corner. You're probably going to have Dijon and Jordan Edmonds at corner at some point. You're going to have some variation of Keon Sabb, Bray Hubbard, Jair Edwards, Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., Ivan Taylor, Xavier Mincy, Carmelo O'Neal. I routed off 7 DBs that could probably start at 90 to 95 other schools in the country.
And not even the starters.
Some of them are sitting on the 3 deep in Tuscaloosa. So they've done a really good job of keeping defensive talent on this roster. So I'm really excited to see what it looks like. But to that point, if you tell me Keon Sabb is the quote-unquote worst or weakest link in your secondary, I expect to have a top 5 secondary.
Yeah, and maybe the most underrated because he doesn't make the big. Yeah, he does. See, that's why I love Donald Hancock. I think when you say that, it's because Sabb doesn't make all the plays that like pop off the paper. We don't have the highlight plays, but you don't have the low light plays really. The thing about safeties is they're like offensive linemen. You almost never know their names until they've screwed something up, right? Like I almost never see a starting like if I'm watching a game and I see that camera pan out and there's a wide receiver hauling tail downfield, you know who's chasing them? That deep safety that missed their assignment. You don't see that from Sabb and Bray Hubbard. So with the safety, you either know their name, 1, because they suck, or 2, because they're making ridiculous plays like Bray and Sabb have before. So I think that's why Keon Sabb and Bray Hubbard compared
one of my favorite DBs.
Oh crap, he got cooked.
I'll say that, and it came from that what you were saying right now. Okay, he was a cornerback, move safety, and when I say his name, everybody's gonna know it. Eddie Jackson.
Yep.
People don't remember when he was at corner, he was getting burnt. I'm talking about go back and watch them 2013, 14. I want to say
A&M 2014. A&M 2014.
Yes. Was getting lit, and I mean, not even just that game, multiple other games, and then Saban's like, hey, maybe if we put him at safety where he has an extra couple steps. It was really the speed. He's a little taller guy. The speed was getting him, I feel. And when they put Eddie back there, that made his draft stock go pew!
Yep.
Because the dude balled out back there. And Eddie Jackson's one of the best. I love Eddie Jackson, but I knew his name at first because he was getting burnt. And but then moving around. So I like reason I'm getting at that is it's one of those things that sometimes guys can be in the wrong position. I say position. I don't mean if you're a cornerback,
they're not being put in the best position to succeed.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So because I'm not saying oh, you're a cornerback. Oh yeah, dude, you should definitely be a defensive lineman. Because that's not how that works. But yeah. So, fun stuff there. Comment section had a fun one with that, and I did like that comment though right there. Herb, he said
the line happened in my head.
They forgot about Dre. Instantly, as soon as I saw it, I literally had it. Zach, like they forgot about Dre. Bro, you just gave me an idea for an edit that I'm about to go destroy with Dre Kirkpatrick after this. I'm about to go make a Dre edit. So yeah, I forgot what I was even about to say. I lost my brain. Herb, question for you.
Okay.
What are some names you think fans should be paying attention to in this DB room? Now, obviously, Wyatt just gave off some of the starting guys as well, and then maybe like a Jair Edwards, that's a younger guy.
I think I rattled off the 3 deep, so I'm sorry.
You did. It's fine.
That's fine. Yes.
Bentley. Yeah.
we have a friend. That's what it's called Bentley. Anytime JT asks a question, give me one name, Bentley will name 7. And they're like, you forgot all these. I'm like, he told me name one. Like, how long is the second?
You'd be like, hey, what's your favorite tight end? He'll tell you the tight ends on this year. And then he'll be like, oh, but O.J. Howard was good too. And then was good too. And Colin Peake. I mean, he was great too. Like,
Yep.
But yeah, what's some names though? When I say names though, like maybe a guy that Herb is looking at. If I had to ask you, Herb, outside of the big names, okay, like we know the Bray, the Sabs. What's a name that you like in this DB room? Maybe 2, 1, however.
Right. Well, this isn't fair because I did answer this last week, so it's going to be a repeat. But I'm gonna go with Ivan Taylor as a guy who is right behind the first guys. Like I said last week, I avoid the freshmen because I feel like they do get a lot of hype, and our starters, great. I'm not skipping those, so I'm gonna go with a guy who did get a little bit in last year. Did get a start at A-Day, right, with the injuries back there, and a guy who I think is ready. And you're like, yeah, is he going to be as great as the guys in front? No, there's a reason why he's second. But will fill in, and I don't think you're going to miss a beat that much. You're not going to think, oh God, we're screwed back there at the back end now. So Ivan Taylor's a guy I think is just waiting for an opportunity, and I think he will. So people got to remember, Bray Hubbard was waiting for an opportunity. Unfortunately, you have an injury, but without that injury, is there a Bray Hubbard? You know what I mean? So things happen, and you take advantage of opportunities. Ivan Taylor's my next guy up.
Bray Hubbard came from Caleb Downs leaving. A great player. What was you about to say? What?
Ivan Taylor's another one of the 95% of the schools in this country. He would be a starting defensive back for. He's sitting on Alabama's 2-deep roster. So, but he's another guy that I mentioned. Hey, you want to see kind of what you got in the tank for 2027? Ivan Taylor, I mean, as soon as the 26th season's over and we start putting out way too early depth chart, or this is the guy that I think is going to be a superstar next year, Ivan Taylor needs to be at the top of that list.
I agree with the Ivan Taylor stuff too. I think Ivan Taylor's a guy that's going to come around to some stuff here in the future with Alabama, maybe some this year as well. I think it's really good. We'll get into the last topic tonight, guys. It's a way too early Alabama LSU preview. The only reason I was going to do this, like I said, our guest was a former LSU player, but already had this lineup. Yeah. He had Jalen Collins. If y'all didn't know, Wyatt played quarterback back in the early 2000s. Okay.
Yeah.
Life. Wyatt's actually 52. Okay.
I was going to say, back when Wyatt was 1, he was back there.
No,
dog, I was carrying Matt Flynn's water. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling y'all. I got highlight footage of it. I used to cut the tapes.
I was the nastiest water bottle carrier out there in Baton Rouge.
So, but this is an interesting game this year. Anybody playing LSU this year probably going to be very interesting. Alabama's going to add a little bit more to it because previously Alabama LSU's gas on the fire was to Nick Saban. Okay. He won a championship at LSU. Now he's at Bama doing all these things. It's kind of like you get married to this girl, things don't work out. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, maybe it's right. We shouldn't do things. And next thing you know, she's dating your best friend and has a whole life of 4 kids. And you're like, whoa, what happened here? Like,
damn.
It's kind of, things happen fast. So, but now they've kind of, done their thing. And now it's got a hot new girlfriend. You're like, hey, but like we used to date in high school. Like, what are you doing? Like, so it's kind of like that. I feel like it's got that little bit of drama to it. Lane Kiffin's going to start his little BS online about Alabama when we play him. He's got Ole Miss ready to fight him. I strongly suggest he has a bulletproof vest on the sidelines and probably a helmet. Actually, have a helmet on probably as well. And I mean, I'm being serious. I'm kind of joking, but I'm actually being probably 70% serious here because. People say what you want, man. You don't understand Southeastern fans, not just Bama fans, the South base of fans when it comes to this sport right here. People will do crazy things. Obviously, yeah. No, go ahead.
No joke. Like he needs to let Charlie Weiss and Blake Baker handle everything on Friday night and Saturday morning. He flies up from Baton Rouge about 2 hours before kickoff, coaches the game. And he's immediately gone. Charlie Weiss, Blake Baker, y'all are handling everything post-game. I'm going to do this press conference. See y'all back in Baton Rouge.
Honestly think he should. I honestly think – now, obviously
that ego would never let him.
I was just about to say his ego is not going to let that happen. And I mean, I say that I will be like, oh yeah, I will get in and get out too. My ego is so big, I'll be like, oh, ain't nobody gonna. So I get it, So it's just one of those things that the most watched game of the year is gonna be Ole Miss LSU. I'll just say that, in my opinion, the most watched game of the year is going to be. I am going to have my TV. Ain't it week 3 or week 2?
It is week 3.
Week 3. A college game day is going there. Don't even. I don't care what if they're
they've
both
already announced
0-2.
it. They've already announced it. They go.
I don't even care if they're both 0-2.
You have to. Yeah,
you go to this game. This game is going to be
You don't even got to change the TV channel because it's coming on immediately after Alabama and Florida State on the same TV channel. So you're in the clear there.
Better for me right there then. So we will get right into it. How early is too early to start circling Alabama versus LSU on the schedule? Wyatt, at what point do we look at this and like, hey, we don't need to look too far ahead, but at the same time, LSU has Lane Kiffin now. Give me your thoughts on the way too early matchup, Alabama versus LSU.
This is going to be, I would say in terms of environment, I would say in terms of external factors, the hardest game Alabama will play in 2026. In terms of external factors, I think certain matchups may be a little bit more difficult, but externally with Lane Kiffin, you're going to Baton Rouge. They've got some experience beating you this decade, but for the most part, you put belt to backside against LSU. You did it 2 years ago. From an external viewpoint, though, this is probably the biggest game for Alabama. It's going to be a night game. Lane Kiffin's going to want to get that lick back after not getting any sort of view. Yes, Coach O. Let Coach O do these interviews, please, for the love of God.
Absolutely.
It can be 30 seconds. It could be 30 seconds.
Yes.
He just goes up, go Tigers, and walks off. That's all.
We gotta mumble something. Go Tigers.
That's all I want to hear. We just call some video the boys, condemn we hit a pick 6 and all go Tigers.
Yes, that's all.
Bonus points if he brings one of his girlfriends to the interview instead.
Oh my God!
Like he did in practice.
Well, you could say the same thing about Lane. All right, let me not get in trouble.
If he wears the outfit, he wears the hot yoga to do the interviews, then Lane can do it.
Buddy, not the hot yoga.
There are so many skeletons in that closet here in Tuscaloosa
and
in Oxford.
Yes,
and in Oxford.
I bet.
I've heard some things, man. Yeah. Let's hope those stories don't come out. Anyway, Sam Levitt, starting quarterback at LSU. I'm not the biggest fan of his. I think every person that I talked to with this draft cycle, because I was actually pretty plugged in with the draft going down to the Senior Bowl and talking to some people at the Combine. Every time I talked about Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver at Arizona State, you know what they said? Hey, every video we've seen of Jordan Tyson is not a Jordan Tyson highlight tape. It's a Sam Levitt lowlight tape. How the hell did they win any ball games with this kid at quarterback? That's what somebody in the NFL told me. How the hell did Arizona State win games with this kid? Wow. Where is he at now? LSU. Yeah. Good luck, LSU. That's exactly what they told me. So,
wow. Which, by the way, Raj also not a fan. He's gone on record several times.
I'm not the biggest fan of his. Now, I do acknowledge what Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. can do with a quarterback because, they had Matt Corral winning 10 games a year. Like, surely they can get something out of Sam Levitt here. I like their run game a lot. Harlan Berry, Caden Durham. I like that 1-2 punch at running back a lot. Receiver, I'm really, really high on a handful of guys. I think Jace Brown is going to be really, really good. Y'all remember that burner, Eugene Wilson, that Florida? Mm-hmm. He now sits in Baton Rouge. So they've got some good receivers out there. Love Trey'Days Green at tight end. And the fact that they kept Blake Baker at defensive coordinator, Whit Weeks is back, DJ Pickett is back. They're going to be a tough matchup. I'm not sitting here saying LSU is going to go, 7-5 this year. But maybe we pump the brakes on the 11-1, 12-0, SEC champions type of beat. Maybe we pump the brakes on that a little bit. I think they're going to be really, really good. I question their chemistry early in the year. Clemson week 1, that's a lot of pressure on Dabo and Lane. Week 2, Bobo game. Ole Miss week 3, Texas A&M week 4. How much chemistry do you have with that starting offense there whenever you look at damn near everybody's new, and you've got marquee opponents in week 1, week 3, and week 4.
Yeah.
So LSU's a team that realistically plays kind of, 2 seasons in one. They've got 3 really tough games in the first half of the year. Then you go through the middle portion of their schedule: McNeese, whoop-de-doo, Kentucky, blah, Mississippi State, no disrespect, blah, Auburn, please. And then it's Bama, Texas, Tennessee. It's like, okay, if LSU's 2 losses coming out of those first 4 weeks of the season, we're all going to completely forget about LSU. There's still going to be 2 losses going into November when Alabama comes to town. And suddenly you're in a similar situation as you were 2 years ago. Probably both Bama and LSU are playing for their playoff lives in Baton Rouge. Alabama's got tough matchups. LSU's got tough matchups. And, oh, by the way, 6:30 ABC, College Game Day, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Have fun, y'all. Good luck. I think that's almost exactly how it's going to play out. Is the highlights and the setup is almost going to play out exactly like it did in 2024. Now, what the hell happens on the field? I ain't got a clue in the world. I'm just excited that I'm going to be there.
Yes, I think that, and also for a second I saw this and I was like, "Cat, what did he do? Why do I have to block him?" But you're block A. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm over here looking back in the chat like, what did Agent say? He normally is in our chat all the time. Like, what did he say for Cat to be like, block him? Like,
immediately block that guy.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
what when Cat speaks though, you want to do it though. If Cat's like block somebody, you're like, all right.
Yes, that's literally why I was like, hold on, why would Cat even say that? What did they say that I missed? Like,
Cat has put up with me for years, so like, she's usually
Mia would have done text me. My wife normally watches everything too. She would have blocked already. Like, she don't play about some of the comments with people like that. Or Cat. Yeah, I'm going to say Cat could too.
So something you mentioned in there, we had Matt Moscona on to talk about LSU.
He's such a great interview, but yeah.
Yes. Oh, dude, very interesting. It was funny because he didn't respond to anything. Dude, I'm very tolerant. Look, if you can put up with me, you can put up with anybody, guys. So you should be fine. But he mentioned something that Lance said in there with the injury to Levitt. He was like, look, man, I have no faith in the guys behind us. And we haven't seen Levitt because he's been injured. He said, so if he's hurt and we have to go in one of these, he's like, dude, our because we tried to get a prediction from him. He was like anywhere between 7-5 and 10-2, because you threw out that number 7-5. That made me think about it. He has no faith in anything else. If Levitt is not ready to go when the season starts or is not 100%, he's like, all of a sudden it's really, really low. He said I couldn't give him the LSU's, but yeah, he was cool on ours. So there was
Herb, I was trying to like hate comment, but I couldn't because he was being cool. And he was being a dad. And I was like, dang it. I can't even hate comment on him because he's being normal right now.
I like Matt. I like Matt. He's a good dude. A buddy of mine also works alongside him, Chris Marler, too. And Krista, I love Chris. I love Chris. So,
yes, I love huge.
Yeah, so they work together. Love Chris. Matt's good people. A lot of fun. I mean, he knows how to rile people up. That's 100%.
So that's the part that gets me, because he does rile me up. I will say that he does rile me up.
We had a couple in the chat that were waiting for something, but he did. His son popped up briefly. I think that diffused, and it was a good interview. But back to the LSU part about it, he mentioned like this could be such a wild swing, all based on something you have no idea. And you lose that spring portal and you get somebody like Levin and he's hurt, there's no chance to rectify that. It is what it is at this point. So it could be an interesting swing. But I will say this to your original question about how big is this game. Lane is probably drawing up plays and thinking about 2 games right now. Ole Miss and Alabama.
Yes.
And that is it. He wants to beat Alabama more than it's probably a little less because Saban's gone. But it is there. He wants to, and there's a bye week for both teams right before that game.
I know
wants
Saban
to beat Alabama.
I know Saban's not there anymore, but he didn't get a call. So I almost wonder if that makes him want to beat Alabama even more. Because he never got a look when Nick retired.
Right.
And I think part of him not getting a look had to do with how things
he's thinking
ended.
about it now.
It's kind of like if I was the great
he'll quote tweet the show and mention that.
Oh God, yes,
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, one Lane story for me. I posted a Jalen Hurts edit when he was in the Super Bowl this past year, or a couple years, 2 years ago, and I randomly just posted it, and Lane Kiffin quoted my Jalen Hurts video, and was like talking about how great Jalen Hurts was. And I was like, hey, that's dope though.
Heck yeah.
So don't know how my stuff landed on his profile, but hey, I shout out to Lane Kiffin for that. I was a Lane Kiffin fan until what happened to the players. I'm sorry. Doing that is the ultimate slap in the face to the guys. Hearing some of those players come out and be like, it was kind of like, oh, everything's good. And then you just see it on the radio or hear it on the radio or you see TV or social media. And you're like, what? And then you get a phone call or a text. I thought that was just shitty to me. And that's where I believe karma plays a role and is going to come around. You're going to get your money. You're going to get your money, dog, because that's what you went and signed. I just don't think you're going to get what you exactly want. You could have got it at Ole Miss and then going running saying, oh, well, certain things that to get a recruit at Ole Miss, parents would ask me, did I shut that up. Like, I'm not even going to go into the logistics of the percentages of different races at schools and stuff like that. But that is the dumbest angle to shoot it at, in my opinion. And
by the way, I don't know how many Tigers are running around Baton Rouge. Do we know what LSU is named after? Just putting that out there, Lane.
There's so many things you can
don't
go.
Throw stones from glass houses, Lane Kiffin.
I mean, look, Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia is the same state. There's 3 states, but they're the same state. Okay, outside of the Atlanta, the Birmingham, the Montgomerys, the big cities, outside of probably the 5 big cities maybe, it is every end and odd small town, mom and pop shops all over, and all bunch of small town stuff. So that's that part got me. Now I was like, hold on, like you can't really say that because that correlates to everybody. But Herb, I got one last question for you when we get out of here. Do you see this becoming another classic in 2026? We've had a bunch of classics with LSU. It's been a lot of great rivalry over probably, I'd say, definitely since Saban's been here. So, the 17 years of him here, I would say DeBoer's put belt to ass since he's been here versus LSU. But how do you feel about this game in 2026? Do you think it's going to be a classic?
I think we win this game by 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to say at minimum 2 touchdowns. I think the trajectory of our teams by that point, I think they'll have a rocky start. I think we will navigate ours better. We'll have solidified our quarterback position. Our secondary was great. I think they'll figure out the front 7 before that. I think the offensive line will gel. I just think that we will be in a better position. We'll have navigated the toughest part. I am more worried about Texas A&M before the bye than LSU after the bye, to be honest. So I think we'll come into that game. We'll have another extra week to prepare. I think we beat LSU by double digits, if I had to say right now. So do I think it's a classic? No. I think it's a great start. Lane's going to throw some out where an offensive lineman throws to a cheerleader like early on. We will take some punches.
I'm not worried now,
bro. The game, I think we gain some separation.
Herb, you just told me we're winning 56-3. I'm not even worried no more now.
That's what I heard.
I heard 56-3.
Wow. Ryan Coleman-Williams, 6 catches, 6 touchdowns, 400 yards. That's what Herb just said. Yeah, 600 yards. That's what Herb just said.
And one drop. One drop, and that's all we'll talk about is the one drop.
Dude, hold on. Hey, I said this. 400 yards. I said this as a joke. I said Ryan Williams' first pass of the season, 80-yard bomb, and he drops it. Everybody goes crazy. From that moment after that, he picks up and has a 2,000-yard receiving season and takes off. And then everybody forgets about the 80. I was like, that would just – that's the type of thing.
If anyone forgets anything, you don't know Alabama fans.
True, but 2,000 yards will make you forget a little bit because like Derrick Henry, for example. Derrick Henry is great. Now I'll tell people this too. Derrick Henry would also have probably 23 carries and like 37 yards sometimes in the third quarter, and then he get in the fourth quarter and get 10 carries and go 10 for 85. and just make it look because in the fourth quarter he's still going
down kind of back.
Yes, that's what I was.
Guys who tackle him in the first quarter do not want to tackle him in the fourth quarter. That's why it's maddening to watch Ravens games when they don't give him enough carries.
Dude, he needs 20 carries. He needs 20.
Well, and if you somehow get to him, guess what? He's got the nastiest stiff arm I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He flipped a 260-pound defensive end in Shalik Calhoun and just
that is true.
No, I'm going to the end zone. Don't touch
Does
me.
that play not look like AI sometimes? I watched that live and I was like, what just happened?
The 99-yarder? Yeah, dog. That's one of those plays where you're just
talking
like,
about flipping the lineman, but yeah.
When he flipped Shalik Calhoun in the Cotton Bowl against Michigan State.
Calhoun, But in the backfield, and that being a 300-pound guy. Like,
that was also a game plan. That was also, they've talked about that game plan. I know we're way out of time here, so I apologize. But I know they've talked about that game plan before, and they were like, all right, everybody was so focused on Derrick Henry because he just won the Heisman Trophy. He just had 200-yard games against Auburn and Florida. Everyone's so focused on Derrick Henry. Hey, look at this cat. We got Calvin Ridley. We going to toss it to him multiple times in this game. And by the way, the Heisman Trophy winner, Derrick Henry, still made a highlight reel play where he made a second-round pick defensive end, Shalik Calhoun, play football with his feet above his head. And scored, by the way.
And then if you look at that game, too, and not just that game, I rewatched it, the Iron Bowl and the 2015 SEC Championship. In those two games, Derrick Henry has 85 carries between those two games.
Yes.
And I think it's 400, 500 yards or something like that. And those
had a 40-yard run to seal the Iron Bowl with less than a minute to go. Because
and I remember it was 4th and 2. That was a 4th and 2 play as well. Yeah. And
they turn and hand it to him, and you saw the entire right side of the Auburn defensive line be like, I'm not dealing with this.
And then
I'll see y'all next year.
Mississippi State.
I'll see y'all at our bowl game,
2015, man. Mississippi State. I think the second quarter when Henry breaks, I think it's a 60-yarder.
Oh, he hits bursts up the middle.
And the guy in the middle has a business decision to make. He says, A, I can tackle Henry, or B, I can make it look like I can't catch him. And that's probably what I'll do, even though I had 12.
That would be me as a DB.
Oh yeah,
great effort, Herb. Great effort. Yeah, okay.
look. I was like this. I played wide receiver. I was the guy that just wanted to score touchdowns in high school. I didn't like defense. I was not a hitter. I was a small type of guy. I like to catch the ball, get out of bounds. So I was the type. If I was at safety, you broke free, I would start running with you 20 yards ahead. Be like, oh, he outran me, coach. Like, I'm not a hitter. I'm just not. I even told my coach, I was like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just not a hitter. Coach was like, hey, at least you honest. I was like, yeah, I'm not that. I don't do hit. I'm trying to score and point at cheerleaders over there. That's what I'm trying to do. Coach is like, God, dog, get this man else.
And that's how JT met his wife.
Right.
I was going to say it.
So, how I got my wife, actually, hey, ironically, quick side story. I was doing I don't know if you know this. In 2017, I was the #1 skater in America. I can break dance on skates, and I'm really good. So I was doing a show for Sonic Drive-In. They had hired me at the local rink to do this thing. They were doing a thing. My wife worked at the rink at the time. She was, taking pictures and stuff. She's taking pictures, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to slide over here, and that's how everything started, was that night right there. So in a sense, I was doing my thing, and then I was like, boom, and everything kind of started.
There you go.
And then I beat Cousin Maddox in NCAA.
Wow, y'all still arguing about that?
Y'all just didn't know. Cousin Maddox got beat. But we're going to wrap up tonight, guys. We're a little bit of OT, but it's all right, guys. Wyatt with the great information. Herb's with us as well, guys. I'm going to be out of pocket for the next week for live shows, so I won't be on Sunday night next week. I won't be on Monday night next week. Herb will be running the shindig next week. We will have Cousin Maddox on with Herb and Damo. And then on Monday night, you're going to have Cousin Maddox and Hunter on. Hunter's going to fill my spot on Monday night. Now, this is all next week. I'll be on tomorrow night. So, but yeah, it's all next week. And shout out to the Bama Standard right here. He said Herb is always being inspiring right here. Boom. Look at that. Or it's Avengers and Inspired to be. Yes. Hey, thank you guys for all the super chats.
Hey, they're good people over there, so love getting to talk with them.
Yeah, and hey, he said, bro, shut up. Oh my God. Yes, that's fun there. Before we get out of here tonight, Wyatt, let the people know where they can find you at, what you got going on, brother.
You can see the X account right there at FultonW_. We're posting countdowns to Alabama football, doing all of our coverage of baseball, softball, summer ball. We'll be rocking and rolling. Big recruiting stuff going on the campus of the University of Alabama. We'll have plenty of coverage over on my personal X account. Also posting more videos on TikTok and on Twitter. So if you just, or not Twitter, Instagram. So if you just search my name, shoot me a follow, and we got plenty of videos, content coming out over the next couple of days. We're doing a countdown to Alabama football. So for the next 97 days, I've got at least one video that I have to post, keeping myself accountable.
Wyatt, I am right there with you, brother. So this should be very good to see. I think it's always fun when you get inside the 75 to see, with you joining the show now too, with the, me, Cruz, you'll see him. You'll see Nick as well on Twitter.
Yep.
It's funny to see which one we pick because nobody talks about what play we're going to pick or do on the countdown. It's funny to see what minds think alike because sometimes I'm like, oh, well, we were thinking about the same play.
Yeah.
So that's fun there. Before we get out of here, though, Herb, let the people know where they can find you at, man. And, hey, guys, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, Herb turns 21. Is it June 2nd? Right?
June 2nd on Tuesday.
June 2nd. Herb turns 21, guys. Big 2-1.
Now we can finally drink on the air.
So don't go back and watch any of our previous shows. we might get in a little trouble then.
All right, he turned 23. Turning 23.
Yeah, there you go. Turn 23.
Turn 23. Cat's out the bag. Sorry.
This I'll be in Memphis for a job, so I don't know if I'm going to show up on Wednesday or not. So Raj is hosting, and JT, you'll be right. He has your cousin coming on to co-host. Yes, I think it's his first time on the Wednesday show.
It is.
Yeah. And they have a guest. I just got the text, so as soon as we get off air, I have to ask Wyatt if he's free on Wednesday. So I won't put him on the spot here, but I will be asking him if he is. But other than that, Raj will be hosting it.
I'll be there.
Okay, well then there you go. Make that easy. And if when we get off, I hate putting people on the spot. So if we get off there and they're like, Herb, I really can't. Then that's we get it.
I had to think through it. Let me check my calendar and double check, but I should be available.
Wyatt's the GOAT.
And that's fine. I'll send you the official on there. But Raj and Maddox will be on there.
What's
and if
up,
Wyatt's
Nick?
available, what up, Nick? They'll be on there and they'll be hosting that show. And then next Saturday, we'll be back for the Unhinged show at 8:30. I have no idea. Raj is hosting that. He did my birthday show this past week. Wonderful. Yeah, Maddox. I was like, "Hey, Maddox, you want to be on there?" He goes, "I've been wondering if you guys hated me or not." I was like, "We didn't know you hadn't been on the Wednesday."
He's just over here like, "I've been waiting for you."
That's what I was worried about. Like I hadn't heard from y'all in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was like, "Damn, did I do something on the last show to tick them off? What happened?"
Never. So we're in the middle of the summer series, so we've just had other teams on. So Randy kicked it off with Georgia, and so usually we would be doing that, but with my uncertainty up in the air, we were like, let's make it a show with people that Raj is more comfortable with. You know what I mean? Just so you know that it flows. So we'll be kicked. We did Georgia's been on with Randy. We've had LSU, we've had Auburn, and we have had, who was this last one? God, because it was a great guest too. Texas. So we'll be kicking back up with Oklahoma after the break. So it's just been a fun time. No, why? You're welcome anytime. You need to just drop by on a Saturday, grab a drink.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, did I like piss them off or something like that? Am I posting too much about the rest of the SEC? Not enough about Bama? Like, what's going on?
Never. We just don't like asking people too much because then we're like, oh, they're gonna get sick of us. Like, but if you have a drink in your hand and it's a Saturday night and you're like, I want to go talk some sports, you log in. Send us a message. You'll get the link. Even if we're in the middle of Cotton has come on after the show has already started.
Heck so yes.
People are always.
Heard last night what happened with me.
Yeah. JT just jumped in. We were in the middle of the show, the birthday show, and JT just jumped on. Yeah. We don't need much. We don't need much warning for Saturday.
The warning was I jumped in the backstage on StreamYard and said "yo" in the private chat, and they were like, "We got you, no, I don't."
Just jump in. We'll get you.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Randy? Good to see you, man.
And like I said, we'll send you an official invite, Wyatt. But if you're free Wednesday, Raj would love to.
Yes, I was on a do buzz.
Love to see it.
Hey guys, that's gonna wrap us up tonight. It's been a great show. JT had 4 dudes. Yes, I did. Wrapping us up tonight. Great Sunday night show. Thank you guys. My daughter's birthday is next week, so I'll probably be. You won't see me as much probably the next 7 days. We do a lot of stuff throughout this next week or so. Yes, my oldest daughter's turning 9, so we are getting there.
That's what's up. Happy birthday! Yeah,
she was born in the same year the 22 and 26 happened. And that was my wife was pregnant at the time. I thought she was going to have pre-labor, how loud I was being. I tackled our Christmas tree. We still had our Christmas tree. I remember just tackling it, and I was like, we'll just get a new one next year. Just throw these decorations away.
We'll just toss
a whole new tree at this point, how I feel.
We'll tell Miss Tua that, happy birthday from all of us, because you had to name her after the play, right?
yeah, definitely got to do that. Got to do that. She is a Alabama fan. She went to A-Day with us as well, and she had a blast up there. And she loves Uncle Herb. So yeah, that is a big thing. My oldest is 11, my youngest 8. Enjoy JT. Yes, I'll say that. Outside of I love sports. I love Alabama football. I'm crazy about it. I'm more crazy about my wife and my kids 100%. But they also know how crazy I am about Alabama football. They know when the game's on. And my oldest daughter would be like, oh, the game's on? All right, hey, we need to get somewhere to sit down. Like, I don't need to be in his way or over here. So they know what's up. So we're going to get out of here tonight, guys. So can we see the video of you tackling the Christmas tree? So legit, Mia has this video. And this was before we did all of our recordings, and she recorded me and stuff. But she recorded that moment. And she has a video of it. And yeah, so I'm going to try to find that. We're going to try to find that. Yeah, family is everything, Nick. Shot.
Because I want to know, did you like break down and everything? Was it a forum tab?
No, it was just a straight, it was literally, I remember it. All right, so TV right here, I'm probably like this close to the TV. Like I'm really close. The ball goes in, and like as he catches it, my brain's like, oh, this is happening, and he's walking in, and we're winning. Like holy And as that's happening, my boys are jumping up off the couch. I'm so excited. I wanted to just tackle them, but I was like, I don't want to do that necessarily. So the tree was right there, boom, and then we all hit each other on the ground. Was rolling around, crazy story.
Just Ruben Foster that thing, helmet down, the whole 9 yards.
That is it. Great show, guys. You own that Christmas tree. I did do it for Throwback Thursday. I'm probably gonna do that. Y'all have a blessed night, guys, and as always, roll Tide.